Hello from Gardening at Douentza here in Ireland, and this video is about propagating aeoniums. As you can see, it's time to dismantle the west side of the garden for winter and to take the tender plants into the greenhouse. And one of the things I've been digging up is the aeoniums. Now, some of you may recall that in spring this year I had a lot of very mature aeoniums that were looking quite leggy. And what I did really more as an experiment than anything else is I cut off stems and plunged them into the ground. And hey presto, we have roots. This aeonium on the right, as you can see, has developed an extensive root system over the summer, whereas some of the others, like this one, it's been quite minimal, but it's been enough to keep the plant going. So, you know, that's the main thing. For a plant I wanted to neaten up, I now have lots and lots and lots. Aeoniums are just fantastic plants, and, you know, some of them stand up better than others, like this one here. Unfortunately, I've lost the label for it over time, but it supports itself, whereas this other one, which is a Simpsonii cross, supports itself less well. Now, I've just been digging these up from over here, as we can see. And yeah, they've done very well over summer. I think I'm going to try that again going forward. I suspect that in some cases the wimpy stems are a result of the lack of sun here in Ireland. And if these were to grow somewhere glorious like California, they might be big and bushy. But for Ireland, that's what they do. And there's not much I can do about that at all. Just taking a closer look here at some of the root systems that these plants have developed over the course of the summer. And it's a great way to propagate aeoniums, but you can also do it at this time of year. So, for example, just cut off a stem and plunge it in some compost in a pot in the greenhouse. Now, these things do need to be kept frost-free over winter, and I would advise not watering at all. So for any aeoniums that a branch breaks off of, or this particular one here that I managed to slice through with the spade when I was digging it up, and this one has a little bit of a root there already, but imagine it didn't. All you need to do is just plunge that in a pot of compost and keep it in the greenhouse, and you're going to have a rooted plant by next spring. I've done it many times and it works. Just don't water them. I was asked recently about this succulent bed that I planted up in spring, and I thought I'd just show it briefly because I've started dismantling it, as you can see from the gaps. I think it's been quite successful, and a couple of the things you're looking at are actually going to stay in place, like the big fascicularia, I think that's the correct name, and that sedum there on the right, but the aeoniums are definitely coming up. As the autumn colours really set in, my goodness, look at that butter yellow on the hostas. I just thought I'd give you a little update on the Echium that I applied cinnamon to in the summer. Now, as you will recall, the centre of this Echium wildpretii started to rot out, so I put some cinnamon in there, and we can see a ring of black around, but in the centre you can see fresh new growth starting, so it has worked well. That's a gorgeous Echium greenii, and behind it, Propagation sanguinea, I think it is. I hope you found this video useful, and if you do have some aeoniums that are a decent size, do try taking off some branches and propagating them that way. Oh, look at the gorgeous yellow of the hostas over there in the border. I love their butter yellow at this time of year. But yeah, right, aeoniums. Okay, thanks very much for watching. That's all for now. Bye!